Hi everyone, I am super excited to join in with an autumn/Halloween collaboration organized by Lisa from Crafting Diva. And you can see a hashtag on my screen now, which is AutumnFest 2025, which if you use on your social media when you're sharing your autumn makes inspired by our makes, we will be able to search and see your gorgeous creations as well. So there's a whole list of very talented collaborators who are taking part in this challenge, and they will be sharing their makes on YouTube tutorials and or in Instagram posts. And I will have a link to each of those collaborators' YouTube channels in the description box below. Make sure you go and check out their videos as well. So right throughout September, we will be coming in for 4 Fridays with autumn or Halloween themed makes. My make today is going to be one that was inspired by my own make, which I shared not that long ago in the Creative Stamping magazine issue 150 video. I will leave a link to it at the very end of this video so you can check it out. It is 5 shaped cards that I made using the Made to Surprise stamp set. And I was asked in the comment section of that video by a couple of you if I would be willing to share some tutorials. So I thought it was a perfect occasion today to make that, and I'm going to make a pumpkin themed card. I will be decorating it slightly differently. So to make my card, I'm going to use some oval dies. The oval dies that I have in here is the Nestables by Creative Craft Products. I had this from Craft Stash and I had this for such a long time. I used them all the time. You can use any oval dies that you may have in your stash, or you can just hand cut, free hand cut ovals. So it is these two that I used. I'm going to give you measurements just if you want to know what I worked with. So the ovals that I used, the larger one measures just under 4.5 by 5.5, and the smaller one is just a teeny tiny bit smaller. But the thing is about this card, you'll see when I'm assembling it, you can use any sizes you want. You can make these smaller cards, larger cards, depending on the size of the ovals that you use. So I have 5 ovals cut out from this orange cardstock, and then I have 5 ovals which are slightly smaller cut out from white card. Okay, 4 of these will be decorated in one way, and then the last one will be decorated a different way. For the 4 of these, I already have 3 done here. There's the third one. And I just have to make one now. So I'm going to make the 4th one on camera now. You can see I've left it in wider because that section you won't be able to see once we have assembled the card. So what I've done for those ones, to get these out of the way so I don't get them inky, I have 2 distress oxidings, Wild Honey and Vintage Photo. Now these are not the same colors as I used in the magazine, because I had to work with purples and oranges, yellows in there, and I think it turned out absolutely fantastic. But for today's video, I wanted to go more for brown and orangey colors for the pumpkin. So with the Wild Honey, so I didn't go for real smooth blending. That's not what I was aiming for today. I wanted this to be patchy, just like a pumpkin would really be. Now to assemble the card, I'm just going to bring in this last oval. I will not be attaching this yet. But what I am aiming for, just to see what kind of a shape of a pumpkin I want to go. So you can obviously have them out further apart from each other, all these ovals, for a much larger pumpkin, or push them in together much closer to each other, and that's what I'm going to do. So to do that, I'm going to overlap these two just a bit, and I'm just working with my grid lines on my mat to make sure that they are lined up nicely. And I'm just gonna use my quick grab glue just to hold them in place. And now I'm going to come in with these two. First of all, I'm going to glue them together. You could see I added way too much glue. I couldn't see how much was I squirting out. I'm not worried about it because this here will be covering it up so that used out glue there will not show. Plus once it dries, it will dry back clear too. Now I'm going to add some glue onto the back as well to see. I just freehand cut something that resembles a stem. I'm really not that good at freehanding anything, but I think it looks all right once it's hiding behind there. I think it does look like a stem of a pumpkin. I'm happy with it. So I used the vintage photo and then a bit of a rustic wilderness. I thought it needed to be a bit more greenish, so I added a bit of that lovely green color of the rustic wilderness in it, and that's what I'm going to use as my stem. And I'm just going to glue it in there. Just want to see how far down I want to come with it. Like that there, I think is good. And then this bit here I will be popping up on foam pads. And now I have one more of these white die cuts that will be sitting on this. I'm going to decorate this, and I'm going to decorate this bit similarly to what I've done for the card in the magazine. And for that, I'm just going to take a leaf stamp and the cinnamon stick stamp, and might take the smaller leaf as well, and just going to take these three colors, which is wild honey, crackling campfire, and vintage photo, and I'm going to just be stamping these with distress sock sidings. I'm not going for a nice crisp image that I will be drawing out colors of these just to watercolor them as well. So I'm just going to go very randomly with this. Okay, so all I'm doing here, I have a little bit of a wet brush, and I am drawing the color out just of those outlines, just very, very quickly. It's such a lovely way to very quickly color something in. How lovely is that? I really love this technique. I have a bit of vintage photo in here, a little bit of a water. I'm just going to try to add some splatters with it. Because I just used my heat tool just to dry this very quickly. And what I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna come in with maybe the wild honey and just going to use what's left on the brush in there just to go around the edges. I do like this, but I might come in with a bit of a vintage photo as well, just a teeny bit. I'm not going mad with this at all. Now to turn my pumpkin into a card, I have a 5 by 5 inch card base, which was a 10 by 5 inch card, and I scored and folded down at 5 inches on the long side, and this will fit perfectly behind it. But depending on what size of ovals you're using, I do suggest that you just to measure out what size of card would work perfectly for you. I could have gone with a bit of a longer card if I wanted to, but I thought this one was just perfect. Once I glue this on it, it will stand up nicely without any hassle of creating a shaped card base. Now, the card that I made for the magazine, I used the stamps from the stamp set, the 2 coffee stamp set and a sentiment that says coffee is always better with a friend. Today, I am not going to do that. I'm going to make some lovely flowers to decorate my card. the country flower from Chloe's Creative Cards. You can use any flowers dyes as you wish, that you have in your stash, that you enjoy using. I just thought the country flower went really well with the pumpkin. So I haven't got my flowers prepared. I'm gonna go off and die cut those, and then I'll come back and show you. Alright guys, a bit of a mess on my table. Let me walk you through what I've done so far. So I have these colored vellums, which are from the Summer Florals vellum pack from Chloe's Creative Cards. I've had this in my stash for so long. To be honest, I all forgot that I had this until very recently when I was going through my stash looking for stuff. I thought, oh yeah, I had this too. So I've die cut a bunch of these dies from the orange one, and then some of these leaves, the leafy foliage die set, which has 2 of these, and I've die cut these again several times from the green one. Now, I don't hate them. I think they would look absolutely amazing against white background, but kind of with the original going on, they do get lost. However, I didn't want to just discard them and not give them a chance. So I'm going to work on these a little. The flowers I also die cut from just gold glitter card, just to add the base layer for them, something separating them from the background in there. Might or might not use them, I don't know yet. There's a bunch more of these flowers in all the 3 sizes. I definitely don't think I'll be using them all. I have a large one and a medium one in there, which I think looks alright. They're size-wise. As I says, I need to work on those a little. So what I've decided to try, which I've not done before, because these dies I've used so many times before, either on their own, glittered up or not glittered up, or used in together with the stamps. Today I'm going to do something different. I do like to experiment with all different ways, how many really different ways I can use one stamp and die set to create different looking flowers. So I'm going to take, I have 2 layers for the large and 2 for the medium in here. I already bended them up a bit just to try what works, but it doesn't really work for me on this card. So what I'm going to do, one of my favorite tools lately is this embossing pen. If you like heat embossing, this is a must to have in your stash. I absolutely love it. So I'm just going to do some heat embossing on these. I'm just going to add some details, just really freehand them onto these. And I think I'm gonna be going with gold embossing powder, which is the polished gold by Wow. I love this because it's really shiny. So I use the embossing body just to get any kind of a static and fingerprints of there. And I'm just gonna go just add lines, and I can't even see what I'm doing here, to be honest. It doesn't really show much. I'm just adding little lines, longer ones, shorter ones, all over this flower. I'm just gonna do one at a time just to see what it looks like. It might be a big fail, I don't know yet. Oh my goodness, guys, look at this. How good does this look? Oh my goodness. I'm getting very excited about this now. Okay, so I'm gonna go off camera to do this to all these 3 petals as well. Alright, so there's the 4 layers. Now I'm just going to show you something. Why you should never overheat vellum. Do you see how it bubbles up once it starts to burn? It kind of bubbled up a little bit, and it happens so quickly. So it's very important to be careful when heat setting vellum, because I will be adding this on the bottom layer in there and not see it anyway, so I'm not gonna be worried about it. But otherwise I would need to start this all over again. It would be very annoying. So yeah, it does happen, but this is why it's very important to be careful when heat setting vellum. Now I'm just looking for the crackling campfire. I'm going to use this small blending brush Nice. So what I'm doing in here is, because even with the gold, I don't think it sets out away much from that background in there, but once I add the crackling campfire in it, look how much it separates it from the background. It just looks so much more finished. I absolutely love that color. I don't think I use this color enough, honestly. It's such a beautiful color, and I'm just adding it just to the very ends of the petals. How gorgeous is that? Right, so I show you what I mean. Let me tidy this up before I mess up my card. So now if I add them, look how much more that flower shows against that lovely background. I absolutely love this now. Okay, so the leaves as well. So the same with my leaves, I'm going to add a bit of a color to them, and this is gonna be the Rustic Wilderness. What do we think, guys? Oh my goodness, I am in love with this. I absolutely adore how this is turning out. I will be adding some gems in the middle of the flowers at last. I just switched my hot glue gun on because I forgot to switch it on earlier, so I have to wait a little minute until that heats up. And I don't think I will be adding too much more other than rhinestones in the middle of my flowers. For the sentiment, I had the idea of adding this little mini tag. So this sentiment stamp and die set comes with this whole bunch of sentiments, and then it comes with these two plaque dies, which I think would be quite big for this one. I really don't want to take away from the whole pumpkin theme. I do have this teeny tiny tag die which has 4 sentiments to go in it. Thanks, happy birthday, best wishes, or, oh, if I could read that, with love. With love. And then we have some teeny tiny hearts as well, which I can fit, and I think these would go in there perfectly. I'm not going to add my sentiment today because I do not know which occasion I will be using this card for yet, but I will know to come back to this stamp and die set once I am ready to give my card to someone. All right, so this is the card ready. How lovely is this? So different. I definitely pushed myself with this card. I kind of knew where I was going with the card base, obviously, because I had created something like this before. But for all the other things, it was quite new to me too. New way of decorating the flowers, using orange with orange. I definitely did try a few things in here that I haven't before, and I am absolutely in love with the end result. But I would love to read your thoughts on this in the comment section below. I'd love to know what you think. What would you have done differently, or would you give something like this a go? As I said, my sentiment I will be adding afterwards. I might just hang the V tag of the stem in here just to say a little message. Yeah, but other than that, I am pretty chuffed with how this turned out, especially the flowers. Look at that. Hi, cool. Grab yourselves one of these if you like heat embossing. This is a must-have in any craft room, I think. I absolutely love it. I have 3 or 4 of these. Honestly, I keep going through them because I just constantly reaching for them now to add all different details, and this is a new one to me. So thank you so much for sticking with me for all this video, and once you watch my tutorial, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so. Hit the notification bell and give me the thumbs up. Make sure you do the same to the other ladies that are taking part in this collaboration, all linked in the description box below. I really hope to see you back soon with my next one. Until then, bye!